Have you ever noticed that as you get older, you enjoy being by yourself more? It's possible that you don't need to be around people as much, or that you feel better in quiet places than in big groups of people. Some people might think this means you're pulling away, but choosing to be alone as you get older is often a sign of great wisdom. People today value being social and always connected, but there's a deep sense of strength and understanding that comes from appreciating solitude. We'll look at 5 strong reasons why older people who like being alone are very smart in this video. Each of these reasons shows that being alone in old age isn't about being lonely. It's about growing as a person, being emotionally strong, and living life on your own terms. Stay with me until the end, because you might find that your desire to be alone is one of the best things about getting older. It's time to begin. Before we start, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button. You won't miss a video that way. Please rate the video with a like if you liked it and a 0 if you didn't like it in the comments. Thanks for your ideas. It will help me make better videos for you. We can start now. First, you know how important peace is. There comes a time when quiet is more important than noise, and for many seniors, that time is in their later years. You realize that peace isn't just a nice to have after decades of taking care of kids, resolving arguments, and navigating the ups and downs of life. You know that drama that isn't necessary, constant distractions, and encounters that aren't deep drain your energy. You no longer spend your days doing things that don't help you. Instead, you choose quality over quantity when it comes to who and what you do with your time. Let's look at Gerald, who is 70 years old. When he was younger, he was always around other people, like co-workers, neighbors, and friends. Even though he didn't feel like it, he felt obligated to be social. But when he retired, he saw that many of those connections were based on habits instead of real connection. For him, the simple pleasures of being alone, like a quiet morning walk, reading a book, or just sitting with his thoughts, became more important. He stopped going to events that didn't interest him. He found something amazing. He wasn't lonely at all. He was free. Being able to enjoy being alone means that you are at ease with yourself enough that you don't need constant stimulation from other people to feel good. Many people are afraid of being alone because they don't know how to be with their own thoughts. But if you like being by yourself, that means you're emotionally strong, independent, and wise. You don't waste time and energy trying to meet social obligations that don't make you happy. Instead, you protect your peace, which is something many people never learn. Some people might think that spending time alone and being alone are the same thing, but they're not at all the same. Isolation is when someone feels cut off from others and wants company, but doesn't have any. On the other hand, you can choose to be alone. It's the choice to leave the world's too much noise behind and find comfort in silence. And when you really understand that peace is more valuable than making friends for no reason, you've found one of the best things about getting older. Second, you have a strong sense of who you are. Being able to really know yourself is one of the best signs of getting older. When you were younger, you might have worried about what other people thought of you, tried to fit in with your friends and family, or looked for approval from your coworkers, family, or friends. But now you don't feel like you have to prove anything to anyone. You have enough life experience to know who you are, what you want, and what you will and will not put up with. Being that self-aware is a powerful and rare thing. Many times, people who have trouble being alone do so because they don't have a good relationship with themselves. They depend on other people to fill the void, keep them from thinking about themselves, or give them a sense of who they are. But if you really enjoy being alone, it means you've reached a level of self-acceptance and inner security that most people never reach. Instead of looking to other people for approval, you look to yourself and are happy with just being yourself. Take Patricia, who is 68 years old. She always had friends around her when she was younger, and they planned trips and kept her busy all the time. But as time went on, she realized that a lot of the time she spent with other people wasn't because she wanted to, but because it was a habit. She started to enjoy more time by herself after she retired. She went for walks by herself, savored quiet mornings with her coffee, and even went on trips by herself. She found that she didn't feel lonely at all. In fact, she felt stronger, more in touch with herself, and more free than ever. You don't need approval from other people to feel whole when you know yourself well. You're happy with your own thoughts, your own company, and the choices you make. When you know yourself this well, you can make decisions based on what's important to you, instead of what other people want or what society expects of you. You no longer waste time on things or people that make you feel bad because you know that your time is too valuable to waste on things that don't make you happy and peaceful. But people who really understand will see it for what it is, a sign of someone who has done the work on themselves, who has nothing to prove, and who finds joy in being themselves, which is one of the best qualities a person can have. The third thing is that you value quality over quantity in relationships. One of the most important things you learn as you age is that not all relationships are worth keeping. When you were younger, you may have spent time with friends, co-workers, or people who came and went from your life without much meaning. You now know that the quality of the relationships you keep is more important than the number of people you have in your life. A lot of people feel like they have to keep in touch with people they've known for a long time, but being wise teaches you that longevity doesn't always mean value. If you're in a relationship that doesn't make you feel respected, supported, or happy, then staying in it out of duty will only drain your energy. This is why many seniors who like being alone aren't antisocial or lonely. They've just grown tired of shallow relationships and now value stronger, more meaningful ones. Take Frank, who is 72 years old. A lot of his friends made him feel like he had to keep up with them, even if they weren't really adding anything to his life. He would go to events he didn't want to, talk to people who seemed forced, and spend time with people who didn't really know or like him. But as he got older, he started to focus on the few relationships that made him feel real, important, and full. Now that he doesn't have to please everyone, he spends time with the people who really care about him. As a result, he feels lighter, calmer, and more fulfilled than ever. When you value quality over quantity, you start to value truth over appearances. You don't feel the need to keep up friendships that aren't good for you or make small talk that doesn't mean anything just to pass the time. You instead put your money into the relationships that really bring you joy, wisdom, and connection, whether they're with family, close friends, or even just yourself. Some people might think that your desire for solitude makes you less connected to others, but you just know the difference between being around people and being truly connected to them. You're at a point in your life where real connections matter more than social expectations, which is a sign of deep wisdom. You don't need a full calendar of social events to feel validated. 4, you like to learn new things and grow as a person all your life. People often think that as they get older, they stop growing as individuals. But the truth is that those who choose to be alone often continue to learn, grow, and evolve more than ever before. Some people need to be around other people all the time to stay entertained, but people who like being alone often find great joy in discovering new ideas, picking up new skills, and learning more about the world. A lot of smart older people use their time alone to do something meaningful, like reading, writing, painting, playing an instrument, or even learning a new language. Instead of relying on other people to pass the time, they work on their own minds in ways that make them truly happy. This kind of intellectual interest is one of the best ways to tell if someone is smart and will live a long time. Studies have shown that seniors who keep their minds active by learning new things and being creative tend to keep their minds sharper and feel like they have a greater purpose in life. Take Eleanor, who is 74 years old. There was more free time for her than she had ever had before after decades of raising a family and working a hard job. Some people thought she would join a club or social group to pass the time, but she found that learning on her own was more fun. She began to read books about history and philosophy, paint, and even write down memories from her past. She didn't feel bored or lonely when she was by herself. Instead, she felt excited and like she had a purpose again. To enjoy learning throughout your life, you need to do more than just keep your mind sharp. You need to keep your mind open, engaged, and excited about life. There are a lot of people who think they know everything they need to know by a certain age. But the smartest seniors know that there is always something new to learn, whether it's a new way of looking at things, a skill you've never tried, or more about yourself. People who are afraid of being alone tend to look for things to do all the time. People who enjoy being alone, on the other hand, know that time alone is an opportunity, not a limitation. Instead of wasting time on pointless conversations, you use your alone time to learn more, push yourself, and appreciate life more deeply. That is a sign of real wisdom, The fifth thing is that you are okay with your own feelings and thoughts. Many people avoid being alone with their thoughts because they don't want to be alone. To avoid being alone with their thoughts, they keep themselves busy, plan things that will take their attention away, and surround themselves with noise. But older people who enjoy being alone have reached a rare and powerful level of emotional maturity. They're okay with who they are, sad about the past, and not scared of what's going on inside their head. You've reached a deep level of self-acceptance when you can sit alone without feeling antsy or uncomfortable. You no longer need stimulation from outside sources to feel complete. Your happiness is no longer determined by other people. You've learned to value stillness, reflection, and the quiet times that help you connect with yourself instead. That much emotional freedom is something many people never reach, and it's a clear sign of being wise. Walter is 69 years old. When he was younger, he felt like he had to be around people all the time. He went to parties, kept up with conversations, and always had something to do. But as he got older, he understood that a big part of his need to hang out with other people was because he was afraid of facing his own thoughts. He found something surprising when he started to enjoy being alone. He liked being with himself. He used quiet times to think about his life, enjoy how far he'd come, and even deal with old feelings that he had pushed down because he was too busy. This gave him a peace he had never felt before. Being at ease with being alone doesn't mean you never enjoy being with other people. It just means you don't need to be with other people all the time to feel complete. This is the point in your life where you can be still without feeling alone. Think about your life without feeling bad about it, and enjoy each moment for what it is. You don't run away from silence. Instead, you use it to grow, be grateful, and understand. Being this comfortable with yourself is one of the most important lessons you can learn in your life. Many people spend their whole lives avoiding this kind of deep self-reflection. If you can be by yourself and feel at peace, you have found something that being with other people can't give you: true inner contentment. If you want to spend more time by yourself as you get older, that's not a sign of loneliness. It's a sign of wisdom. You can value peace, put meaningful relationships first, keep learning, and fully accept yourself if you've reached this level of self-awareness and emotional strength. Some people might get the wrong idea about how much you value your alone time, but you know that it's full of purpose, reflection, and personal growth. At this point in life, not everyone has the same amount of understanding. Some people still look for things to do because they are afraid of being alone with their thoughts in silence. The ability to be truly at peace with yourself is one of the greatest gifts of getting older, and it can be found if you enjoy being by yourself and can feel content sitting alone. What did you notice most? Which of these ideas do you think you have? Leave a comment below with one thing you learned today and how you're going to use it. We care about what you think, so don't be shy about telling us. We feel very motivated and encouraged when we read your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you liked it and found it useful. Thanks for your support. It lets us keep making good content for you to learn from and be inspired by. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.